Hi everyone, it's Nick. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing another Buy This Not That, but we're doing it for HomeSense or HomeGoods. I think it's HomeGoods in the States. It's HomeSense here in Canada. I'll use the names interchangeably because they're basically the same thing. So I will first of all say that if you clicked on this video thinking, yes, I love HomeSense or I love HomeGoods, I'm really excited to hear what Nick has to say. Spoiler, I actually really don't like HomeGoods at all. I sort of make fun of it sometimes on my channel because I really don't like it. But I thought it'd be fun to find some like sort of picks that I think are actually worth your money and then tell you some things that I think are kind of worth buying from there. And then I'm gonna give like a whole bunch of not that's because there's a bunch of things that I actually don't really like. So it's basically kind of an excuse for me to make fun of stuff for HomeSense for the next 15 minutes or so. So let's get to it. Of course, it's also, you know, my usual Canadian disclaimer, which is, you know, this is just my opinion. If you don't like it, that's cool. You know, do what this HomeSense side says. It says, do more of what makes you happy. Well, if what makes you happy means put, you know, ugly stuff from HomeSense into your home, then I say you go for it. If that makes you happy, then you do it. What makes me happy is making fun of stuff from HomeGoods right here on YouTube. So we're both living our best lives. And first, before I get to those Buy This Not That picks for HomeGoods, let's first hear from our sponsor, which is Ritual. Okay, so let's take a minute here and thank today's sponsor, which is Ritual. Now, it being January and all, I've been trying to be a little bit more health conscious and trying to make healthier choices in my life. I wouldn't call it necessarily like New Year, New Me. I would instead call it like New Year, less beer. Let's just say that. And Ritual has made it really easy and convenient for me to add in a multivitamin into my diet. I need a multivitamin, I think, for me, just to sort of fill in the gaps, right, that I'm not getting from regular food, which of course is where I want to get most of the nutrients that I get in my body, right? So the 18+ men's vitamin capsule that I've been taking daily is vegan friendly, non-GMO, gluten and allergy free. There's no shady fillers or anything like that. And they have liquid and dry ingredients all in one capsule, and all the ingredients are transparently sourced. And of course, the other thing that I love is that they've made it really easy and convenient to take a multivitamin with free shipping and a subscription that arrives at my doorstep every month. And viewers of my channel that use my unique code of Nick10 get 10% off your order of Ritual for the first 3 months. So click on the link in the description below. Let's get back to the rest of the video. Okay, first on my list, Buy This Not That. I'm going to say Rattan baskets are a buy from HomeSense. They're usually a pretty good price, and you really can't go wrong with like a jute or a rattan basket. Listen, they're not the only game in town. There's a lot of places you can get these baskets, but I think if you really like HomeGoods and you want to see if you can snag a bit of a deal, sometimes they go on clearance. I think these are a really great option. You've got some rattan, you've got some jute, you've got lots of different sort of natural fibers being used for those baskets. You also got some sort of Scandinavian, sort of white, pale, cream sort of ones. I think they look really cool. Some muted colors, lots of different baskets. I think this is a really great pick. I actually had a person reach out to me on my Instagram, because sometimes I go on my Instagram stories and I just like kind of make fun of stuff at stores on my Instagram story. It's fun. Anyway, and I had a person reach out to me and she said, Nick, my very sweet husband bought me a $300 gift card at HomeSense. What do I do? And I facetiously told her to buy 25 baskets because it is honestly probably one of the most reliably good quality and nice kind of aesthetically pleasing sort of options that I think you can pick at HomeSense. I think this is definitely a category that they haven't screwed up. Okay, and then my not that, I've got a couple of picks for you. So the first ones I found here were these treasure chests. Okay, not only are these treasure chests, you might not be able to see on this photo, they're not real. They're not made of wood. They are like made of what I'm gonna call like a foam. So maybe good for like, I don't know, like a pirate themed kids room or something. No, it's not even good for that. But anyway, just it's made of like foam, like you kind of stick your finger in and it like gives, like it's weird. This is a very strange pick in my opinion. There's a lot of this random stuff at HomeSense, right? And this was a good example. I kind of chuckled to myself. I took some photos of it and people were looking at me like, why are you taking photos of those weird foam treasure chests? Yeah, for you people here on YouTube, because I don't know who's buying these, but I don't think these are a very chic option. Again, maybe the pirate themed kids room, maybe we'll let that one go. Maybe a prop for like, I don't know. I can't really think, I can't even think of honestly how you'd make these work in your space. But if you love pirate themed things and you don't like using real wood when it's not that probably difficult to find a actual wood box, then maybe you pick something like this. I don't know, maybe you can keep your documents in this and throw it in a cupboard because you can't look at it because it's ugly. I don't know, but maybe I just don't think this is a really chic and awesome pick from HomeSense. And in the same category, because it was all in the same area, I'm also gonna say like Marble Effect garbage cans. If you wanna buy like, they have sometimes like the Simply Human ones, whatever, that's totally fine. But I would say these ones that are like the Marble Effect stuff, you guys know how I feel about Marble Effect. Like if you have to fake it, great. Like maybe DIY it. Like there's great options options there, but in a garbage can, like a marble garbage can is a weird thing no matter what. A fake marble one with like this laminate effect on the top. Oh no, this is just not it, you guys. Okay, next up, let's talk about maybe this soap pump from HomeSense. This is a actual marble. So again, kind of what we just talked about, except they actually have a marble soap pump. So they had a whole set there. I think they're kind of cool. I think it works. I think the brass is really brassy. It looks like it's definitely a cheaper brass. It's not gonna like have an aged patina, but you're at HomeGoods, so I don't really know what you were expecting. But this is a really nice, sort of got some weight to it. And again, it's real marble. And this kind of, you know, looks a little bit more chic than maybe just using kind of the Bath & Body Works plastic one that you may have on the countertop, or going for something like we'll get to in a second. I think this is a really great kind of little chic option. I think this could totally work. In the not that section, I'm going to say this rhinestone and mirror soap pump set. This picture right here, like this soap pump set, this is exactly the type of style that I personally don't care for, which is so often what you see over and over, at least I do at HomeSense and HomeGoods. It's either this or it's very farmhousey. Those are the two categories, and both styles I don't personally particularly care for, so it just doesn't work for me. This soap pump, I just think it's a little glitzy, it's a little glammy, but again, done in a cheesy way. And no one's gonna walk into your bathroom and go like, oh my God, she is just doing well for herself. She's got a diamond soap pump. No one believes you. That's obviously just like glued on rhinestones. And I just don't think this is really a chic and timeless option. I think this just sort of feels very cheap and throwawayable, which is what you should do. Well, don't even buy it. Don't throw it away, because that's just bad for the environment. Leave it for somebody else to purchase and make their own mistake. Okay, buy this. I found a couple of cool stools and chairs that I thought maybe were worth checking out. So first is this little teak stool. I really like this. It's got very much sort of a Japanese sort of Zen look to it, which is kind of neat. I think it's kind of cool. It reminds me a lot of the one actually that IKEA sells. It's a cute little bench. I don't think you really go wrong there. It's kind of nice to have, you know, maybe in a front hall, or you could put it in a bedroom. You could even put it like in the bathroom or something. That could be really cool. So definitely a nice option. So you got this navy seat. I think this is like a style I've seen before at HomeGoods. I've seen them with like a yellow mustard seat before. Now they've got the navy. So these styles tend to be cycling through quite frequently. I like the caning back. It shows that somebody in the HomeSense HomeGoods buying department has their ear to the ground a little bit in terms of seeing what trends are coming down the pipeline. So good job there. I think this chair is a winner. And when I say winner, I mean it works for HomeSense, which I generally don't like. Because I would like to point out, by the way, because can I dispel the myth that HomeSense is always like so super cheap that you grab so many bargains? I mean, maybe some people do. Great, cool. There's a lot of, it's $180 Canadian. What is that? Like 150 bucks American or something? That's not the cheapest dining chair I've ever heard of. So I would say it's a win for HomeSense if you really like it and that is a particular style that you're looking for. But I don't think it's necessarily a screaming good deal, but I think it is good enough to make it into my buy this category. Okay, and my next not this, I've actually got two items. It's going to be this glass coffee table. I hate glass coffee tables. It's also got like a really chrome edge to it. I really don't like that. I just think it, you know how I feel about glass coffee tables. You will always bang your shin on them. They have no presence. You just like, they have smudges for days. You need to Windex that thing forever. I just can't stand the glass coffee tables, so I don't really like this one. The next chair is this, this one's actually on video here, so you can check it out full on. This would be a unicorn. I'm gonna hope it's a kid's chair. Like, let's hope this ends up in a little kid's room. Like, please don't be in an actual grown adult's room. Listen, you may be into unicorns, and that's cool, great. There's lots of maybe unicorn decor that you could bring in, or don't. Just keep your love of unicorns to yourself and not maybe put them and manifest them into a chair. So this one is very fluffy, very floofy, and it's got the horn at the back, which does weird me out, I'm gonna be honest with you. So I would say that this is definitely in the not that, but again, if you've got some 7-year-old that wants some sort of unicorn princess room or something, then I guess consider that an option. So I will say for a little girl's room or boy's room, I don't care, then maybe, you know, that might work. But for a grown adult, just say no to a unicorn chair. Okay, my next buy this. I'm gonna put like 3 different items here in sort of the decor section that I found. I thought these were kind of cool. So first of all, you've got this sort of mid-century modern planter. I thought it was really cute. Reminds me of the ones that they had at West Elm a couple of years back. Good to put, you know, you can put them on a desk, you can just put them on maybe a side table or something, and it's cute to put some succulents in or something like that. I think these are really cute. I got definite like mid-century modern. You could throw this in a boho space. I think it's really, really cute. Next up, you got this terrazzo and terrazzo. Is it terrazzo or terrazzo? Terrazzo like pizza or terrazzo? I asked an Italian person and they didn't really know. Anyway, point is I like this sort of terrazzo and wood serving board. I think this is really cool. Terrazzo is something that I think is really neat. You know, this is a really great way to incorporate it in. So if you are maybe concerned that it's going to be very trendy and that it's not going to be something that is super timeless and you're really maybe something that you get sick of, going for something like this in a serving board is something that, you know, maybe you can love for a good few years or something like that. And then maybe, you know, if you ever get tired of it, you can maybe gift it to somebody else or, you know, sell it on Facebook Marketplace or whatever you need to do. I think this is something that's like less of a commitment than, say, you know, going for like, I don't know, terrazzo countertops or something, which would obviously be a much heavier and bigger commitment when you're starting to look at fixed elements. But this is kind of a really cool way to sort of have fun with this trend in a really kind of simple and easy sort of way. And next up is these other chargers and serving trays. I think these are really cool. They're really natural. I think they're really cool. Kind of got a 70s vibe. I'm like loving the whole 70s. I think 70s is like my era. Like I love the 70s and I just love that all the 70s stuff is really back. And I think this looks really cool to have this sort of rattan tray. I think it looks really cool. And of course you also got these wood chargers. So if you love that look, that might be something that you want to use as well. But now let's get to some not that's. So my not that in the home decor category is just gonna be everything Rae Dunn. I've talked about Rae Dunn, where come on now. Like on one hand, I look at it and think like there's so many people online that have made fun of Rae Dunn at this point, but it still sells. So you know what? People say, Nick, stop talking about this stuff, but I've got to keep kind of evangelizing, not putting words on everything that you put in your home because people still buy it. So that's why I keep talking about it. So, I mean, it gives me content for years, so that's good. I'm not going to complain about that. And by the way, I'm not going to begrudge Rae Dunn herself because like, I admire the hustle. I mean, she put words on everything and she is, oh, you guys, if I had thought of that, could you imagine? Like, I would be so rich if I had thought of putting the word woof on a dog's bowl. Ugh, that was genius, right? Like who thought to do that? It was so stupid, but everybody bought this stuff and apparently she's rich because of it. So I don't begrudge Rae herself. I mean, if I had thought of it, I'd be live, laugh, and lovin' a lot more than I currently am. So good for her, but I'm gonna say for the actual decor stuff for you, I would say this is a not that. This is the type of thing that just feels really cheesy and we don't need to label everything in the house, right? Like, that's why I would say this is probably a skip. If you saw my Fixing Farmhouse video, you sort of know how I feel about it. So I go into a lot more depth there about how I feel about the Rae Dunn and the wordy things. I think this is a skip, but that shouldn't surprise you. Okay, next up, let's talk about a good buy, I think at HomeSense, genuinely, is they have a lot of really great cookware that is oftentimes cheaper than what you're gonna pay at like a department store. So sometimes they'll have Le Creuset, they'll have Staub, which are both really, really great brands if you're looking into cookware and you wanna get like a Dutch oven or something, different like copper, pots and pans, they maybe have All-Clad, like all these brands are really, really great and really worth considering to invest in sort of really quality cookware. So definitely think about buying your cookware from HomeSense HomeGoods. I think they could have some really good deals there. Also in the nearby section though, I'm gonna say not that, is this sign that makes light of your casual alcoholism. Listen, this is not a psychology channel. I'm not here, this isn't BetterHelp. I'm not here to, oh, that was a good sponsorship opportunity I missed there. Anyway, I'm not saying that these signs that make light of how much wine you drink, I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily in and of itself form a complete personality, so probably really super not helpful to put these signs in your home. I don't know if like making light of how much wine you drink is necessarily a really positive, great thing to do. If you need help, go get it. I'm not judging, like go ahead, like do what you need to do, but I would say sort of putting it on a sign and advertising it to the world sometimes either feels a little bit like it's a cry for help. Again, I'm not a psychologist, this is not what we're here for. I'm talking about it as a decor element in your home. I think it's worth a skip. Whether or not, you know, your cry for help about how many signs you have, talking about how much wine you drink, is not really something that I'm equipped to be able to help you with. But I would say that from a design decor perspective, don't put it in your home. Okay, next up here, we've got these pillows. I think there's actually some good pillows that you can find at HomeGoods or HomeSense. You have to sort of dig a little bit and make sure you buy, really look at the tags, see where they're from, right? Check out the brands, really get a good feel for like what they do. If they kind of squish in and then spring back immediately and don't have any give, maybe worth a skip. Those could be really cheap pillows, but I would really sort of explore. There are some really nice ones there. I think there's some really good pillow options that you could maybe explore. This one in my not that is not that. This one just says stay gold. You know how I feel about the Rae Dunn? Well, this is sort of the same thing, but in pillow form. And what does stay gold even mean, by the way? Like, stay gold, like, I don't know what that even, okay. I don't even know what that even means, but I would say don't put it on a pillow. Words on pillows are they're not even just tricky. They're just don't do it, is all I'm saying. So I would say wordy pillows, especially in nonsensical things that no one ever says, like stay gold, bit of a miss. Okay, next up, we're just having a good time here, is buy this pet stuff. Leashes, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here, you guys. I hear what you're saying. I can literally hear you now. Like, Nick, you're really reaching. No, but actually, the dog toy treat section, make sure they're not expired, and the leash section, not a bad option at the HomeSense HomeGoods, right? Like they've got the dog section, and I think those can really work because maybe your poop bags are cheaper at HomeSense than they are at, I don't know, Costco or a local dog store near you. I don't know, but I would say maybe that's a decent option. Yes, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel, let's move on. And not that though would be all these dog bowls and different food and water dishes that are distressed wood. I basically wanted to include some distressed wood in this video because HomeGoods, HomeSense is famous for it. Even your dog's like, no ma'am. Like, why are we, no, just stop doing this. Like, why is it all so distressed? If you want a fancy dog dish, great, go buy a fancy dog dish. You know, buy a couple options, great. Just I would say not on the distressed wood, not even just for the dog dish, but just like all around, right? Like either get wood that has been vintage or something that you've made or whatever, and it might not be super perfect, and that's great. But when things are artificially made up distressed, it's a no for me. Okay, now I've run out of things to buy, as you saw from the dog section we just talked about. So now I'm just gonna list a bunch of not bads. How's that? It was lightning round. Well, not lightning round, like I'm still gonna talk a lot, but like we're just gonna move quickly into some not bads just to round it out. So not that, whatever this lamp is. You know what? Worst case, you can use this lamp to dust under the furniture, but I would say it's hard. Feathers are hard, you guys. Feathers are hard to pull off. You need a space for this, right? Like you need something that really is like funky, weird, cool, and it's just like, you just show up in like a, like, you know Xandra Rose? Remember when I talked about like this, is it Xandra or Sandra? Anyway, it doesn't, I don't know. You know that IKEA video that I did where I talked about like Xandra Rose and how she had that really kooky, crazy, funky IKEA collaboration? Maybe if you're her, you can pull off feathers. You're probably not her, so I don't know if you can. I couldn't. Not putting a pink feather lighting fixture in my home, it's just not gonna happen. I can't pull it off. I know what I am, I know what I'm not. I'm not a pink feather lighting fixture person. I don't think many people are. So this is a miss for me. Also, all this stuff with sort of these fake flowers and glass embellishments and stuff, this is a skip as well. Okay, let's just throw these items up here. You know what? Anything in the like glitzy, glammy, sequins, rhinestone, mirrored furniture, it just feels cheesy at this point. Not only does it just feel overdone, which I understand in and of itself isn't necessarily a problem. Rattan baskets, like everybody, you know, those are overdone arguably, but it just feels like it's trying to be really fabulous and glamorous, and it just reads as cheap and tacky, in my own personal opinion. That's just me. So I think the mirrored furniture, not only that, but it also really messes with sort of your space and angles, and really sort of the light just keeps bouncing off of all this mirrored furniture you have in your home, and it's just kind of overwhelming to the senses because it just feels a little bit like a fun house. So I personally would stay away from those items. Anything with too many sequins is kind of gonna do the same thing. It's all a distraction. It's all just makes your place feel a little gaudy, and it also just makes the place feel sort of really cluttered and full and a little bit cheap, right? And I'm sorry, and I especially want to apologize to my mom, because I gotta say, you guys know I make fun of my mom all the time on this channel because she's hilarious and she can take it, trust me. But you know her favorite store is HomeSense. Like, she loves that store. She loves HomeSense. It's her favorite. So sorry, Mom, and sorry everybody else that really, really likes this style, but it's just not for me. I know my mom's never met a rhinestone she didn't like, and so she probably loves this stuff, but for me, it's a no. And of course, we've got to finish off with the classic. We got to finish off with, of course, I could not complete a HomeSense HomeGoods video without talking about the cheesy word signs. So we talked about the pillows, we talked about the words on the mugs. Could you imagine if you threw all this stuff in one house? Like, the house would just be talking at you all the time. It would be quite overwhelming. But anyway, these signs, they're always a little bit cheesy. Sometimes they will they'll like shock you and put their own like weird font, but usually it's always in this same font called Playlist. If you're looking for it, go ahead and look it up. It's the font, right? Like, we've seen this font 1,000 times. Like, what does this one say? Like, your life is full of blessings or something? Sure, maybe it is. I don't know if it needs to be on a sign. Actually, I do know it does not need to be on a sign. Life can just be full of blessings but still you have a beautiful home that does not have weird art signs. You guys know this. This should not be a surprise. Like I said though earlier on in the video, I keep talking about this stuff because people keep putting it in their homes. So yes, it keeps me in business, but I don't think it's probably the right look for you in your home. But if you've watched this channel, you know that already, so I'm definitely preaching to the choir, but just don't get these signs. Okay, that's it for me for today, you guys. I hope you had fun and didn't take this too seriously. If you love HomeSense and you still do, you go get those signs and those Rae Dunn mugs. Like, don't listen to me, it's all good. And I'm gonna link here to the rest of my playlist where I go over all my other Buy This Not That videos. I've done IKEA, Target, I've done a bunch of them, Wayfair. You can go check those out, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks, bye.